And this is trashes. That if you're not constantly having sex with your man, then whose fault is it when he cheats? So the question of the day is a satisfied man a faithful man? That's a loaded question, isn't it? But I'll go to the men first, starting with African Jagojantis, introducing you as someone that I expect everyone should know, because on this panel, we've got African Jagojantis, we've got Ajike, we've got Funshaw, we've got Celia, and these are the regular Trashian gangs. So you should know them. So, Jagojantis, let me go to you. What does satisfaction mean to you, given what I just read?
Satisfaction to me will be, you know what? It's complicated, you know.
How is it complicated?
I believe like satisfaction. No. We all are married. No single guy or lady here. So I will break the table.
Okay.
Satisfaction to me is when my wife is in the kitchen, maybe she's busy doing something, and I just smack her in the bum, and she's spontaneous. She too is like, do you want it? You know, or we're in the passage, or she's passing me by, she just grabs my thing. You know, that freedom and communication, and the kids are not here, and we're like, come, and we're doing it, you know, and we do like nothing happened. Not like today I come, there's an excuse. Tomorrow I come, there is another excuse. Day before yesterday, I tried, there was an excuse. So now I'm looking like a sex predator. So it's like, this guy's a maniac. Every time, sex. But I didn't get it yesterday. I didn't get it the previous time. I didn't get it day before yesterday. Now I'm back again to ask, to see like, maybe your body is in tune with me. You know, and then every time you're not in the mood, or you're tired, or you can't be bothered, but you have this energy and drive and zeal to be on Clubhouse, or on Instagram, or on Snapchat, or to speak to other people. You have friends, chat club today, Zoom tomorrow. These are things that people are sending to me in the DM. They want me to discuss. And I'm like, do you have elders at home that you can discuss this thing with, instead of you taking it to Instablog or this thing? Because when you put your story out there, the whole world will see it. What you don't want them to know, everybody will know. So look at it from that angle. I've been coming to you now like 5 times. You're still saying, oh, you know, I've been working all day, I'm tired. But you have energy when they're gossiping on Chat Club or Clubhouse. Or I come to you, I just touch your bum, you're like, please, babes, okay, tomorrow, I promise tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, there is another story. So it's very tricky. If I say the man should go and cheat now, they will say, oh, that's not the best.
Don't worry, we'll get to that. But at least we know what satisfaction means to you. So, Funshaw, what does satisfaction mean to you?
Mine is not much. Very, very simple.
Really insane.
Give me peace of mind. Like, okay, I've gotten this tag of a bad boy on this show, but I'm not that bad. But what I mean is,
but semi-bad.
I play a lot. I tend to have a lot of female friends, and you might see a lot of dirty things on my phone. Well, it doesn't really define what I am, or like my own values myself. So mine is give me peace of mind. Whatever I see on my phone, my Instagram, my whatever, ignore it. They are just what it is, my virtual life. You get? So give me peace of mind. And whenever I'm knocking on the door, please open. I'm fine. You don't give me an excuse each time I knock the door. You can tell me, okay, probably I don't want it now. Maybe you give me next appointment. I won't forget the appointment. I'll remind you.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's all. It's not too much for me to ask. I'm very easy to satisfy.
Before I go to the women, Funshaw and Jabajantis, are you satisfied in your current relationship?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to. Okay, let me just give a little. So, you know, I told you guys my wife and everything. So at the beginning, everything was new to her. She didn't know that, okay, I could always want it maybe 3 times a day, every day, 3 times a day, 7 times a week. You get?
3 times a day.
No, I'm just giving an example.
Okay.
Because she's not used to that kind of life. She was like, is this how it's going to be? I said, oh, well, it seems that is how it's going to be. This is a marriage and this thing needs to keep the marriage going. So initially it was a problem. And we had to sit down and talk about it, that, okay, this is what is needed. It is needed. Here you get, or else you want your husband to start checking out stuff outside. You get, and along the line we were able to adjust whatever within ourselves, and now everything is fine. So I can say, yeah, satisfied.
Okay, so Funshaw satisfied, Bidem satisfied. Celia and Ajoke, from what we've heard, what makes men satisfied? Because it looks like it's as simple as you guys are easy, it's just peace and sex. That's all you guys need.
Who is going first? Is it me or Celia?
Ajoke, let me come to you.
Okay, you know one thing, the way they are talking about this piece encompasses plenty things. That piece, they just said choco like that. That piece, they just said choco. Because even Funshaw said, don't check my phone. Anything say my phone, it's okay. It's okay. All under that piece. All under that one.
Yeah, no, don't do FBI.
Uncle Abeg, leave me, Jare. You people, you understand? That piece alone. Don't check my phone. And I want to go, don't argue with me. Anytime I want to come, you must be ready to open up. Anytime I want to eat, even if it's the middle of the night, I came up, stand up and go and serve my food. And the children are crying, they should not disturb me, they should stay with you. Not enough money. The money I gave you for soup is not enough. You cannot complain. You understand? So it's not that piece that the only that piece that they mentioned. You can see the tangents, the way I've taken it, the angles I've taken it to. So it's not that. For me, it's even the piece they're talking about is complicated. But for me,
complicated piece.
I think when you are in your marriage, you just have to find whatever works for you, because it's not everything, not every dog that barks at you on the way to the market that you, or on the way to your wherever you are going to, that you'll be throwing stones at. You'll be going your good. When you can fight, you fight. When you cannot fight, you leave it alone. So I think for me, that satisfaction for them most of the time is sexual or whatever it may be. I think for men, sex, money, and whatever that piece happens to be, will be. Because for some other man, if you like check his phone, because he's not even putting anything on his phone, he has another Nokia Palasa he's using to call all the guests. So that one is even putting down. It's not the one that you are using to book appointment for their Sari Wagba. That's not what they are doing. So you will just give yourself a headache. And I always tell women, if you have children, because as they are seeing me like this, I'm going to be a mother-in-law. My son must marry. I must dance. He must give me grandchildren. So as I'm not ready to die before the die time. I'm giving myself peace. I've decided to just, except it's really necessary, except it's something I really have to fight for. If it's something that I feel is very necessary for me to fight, I will fight it. But other than that, I don't know. And I personally believe that a satisfied man will still cheat. Because Funshaw will always say, I think you used to mention things like, they will say they want variety, they want clinic. The only man that will not cheat on you is the man that has decided not to cheat. He has decided that that's not my way of life. I've decided to receive Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I want to go to heaven in case I die now. That's the only man that I know will not cheat on you. So other than that, I really don't know.
Okay. Celia, interesting conversation. What's your take on it? Is a satisfied man a faithful man?
Satisfaction, I think satisfaction is a lot more than sex, right? I think is a lot, because you guys have just explained as peace of mind and sex. You that you're looking for peace of mind, are you giving your wife peace of mind? Because it's what you bring out that you can receive. You have Clubhouse, you have Instagram, you have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have Snapchat, you have Twitter, you have LinkedIn, you have everything. And you're saying that your virtual life it shouldn't be a problem. Do you know if your virtual life might be a problem for your wife or for your partner? Because you might be chatting with other people that are just your friends in that virtual life, but your wife might not like it, especially if you're in Clubhouse at 1 a.m. in the morning, having a cruise chat with your wife and with your girlfriends, yeah? It's your when your wife is lying next to you in bed. Is that what a married man, a responsible married man should be doing? be chatting with another female at 10 o'clock when you're supposed to be in bed next to your wife. So when you are looking for peace of mind, also know that you have to, the woman also wants peace of mind because she does not just want to be backing for no reason. Another question is, how many times is sufficient to have sex in a week? Please help me answer this question because I want to know. How many times a week is sufficient for a man and a woman to have sex? Husband and wife. Forget about those people that are dating. Husband and wife. What is the quota? Once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week? Please tell me. Africa, be the me, please.
They're asking you, what is the quota?
So, based on my own experience, like I said earlier on, I think it should be, I don't know if spontaneous is the right word. There shouldn't be a measurement for it. It should be mutual. If your wife just smacks you and your body is in tune with her, let it happen. You guys may not even do it in the next 3 days.
Do you realize that it's not every time your wife will just appreciate you slapping her up her bum like that? Except, you know, I mean, women are wired differently, perhaps, I don't know. But you are just there doing your thing. Something is really not pissing you off. And then your husband comes from behind and fight on your bum. I'm gonna be like, hey, what is wrong with you? Can't you?
You will communicate it. It's not true fight. Even if she's not in the mood, you know, you will support her, whatever she's going through. You know, communication, like people always say, or therapists, communication is key.
But since we are talking about spontaneity, how do you communicate that?
Okay, so
that's a one-time thing. It happens.
Understand? Your wife is in the kitchen, she's doing something, and you come from behind and you just whack her one, and she's not really in the mood. How?
That's wicked. How can you whack? See, being romantic, it's not like. No, it's not that kind of slap. She may be walking, maybe she's dicing onions, and you just come from the back and hug her like,
lovely. I love that.
Or you just grab her boobs from the back and she's like, you're not.
If you like, I'll go from that to tomorrow, just give me money. Money is the one that used to be for me.
You see now? You see what I'm talking about? So we all understand our partners, unless you are in the wrong relationship or you're married to the wrong person. Some people, to even get them in the mood is waek, you know. And some people, some girls, they just want it every time. Some girls, they don't want it every time. The man wants it every time. They've already done one in the morning. He is back again in the afternoon.
Well, hold on.
He's done one in the morning, she's back in the afternoon.
Straight question, ballpark figure. What is okay for you guys? 3 times a week, is that not enough? Like
it doesn't have to be 3 times a week. It doesn't have to be 5 times. It can even be once a week. That is why I said it's got to be motion. The body, there must be bonding.
I understand where Jagbajanti is coming from, what he's saying. But you know, at the same time, he has said it that, you know, we need to understand what, you know, it should be spontaneous, really. It should be spontaneous. Honestly. And you should need to understand the person. Because like if you are slapping you only slap me. My body is used to slap me. I went to Nigerian Navy, I'm used to beating. So beating means nothing. Give me money. Even if it's 5K. Don't ask me 5K I did not think of before.
Some girls, just kiss them here. They've already turned to kanji down.
Okay, hold on. Before we start going to kanji down, are we saying that sex is the only thing that can keep you guys faithful?
Okay.
Is it all sex?
No. That was why I divert. Okay.
Now the question is different.
It's not different because I asked when we came on the show, the first thing we asked is what does satisfaction mean to you?
Yes.
And both of you, the elements you've come, the first thing you both talked about was the sex side of things. And Game the rapper, when he tweeted this, they had an undertone of you have to give it to me for me to be faithful.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. That's entitlement mentality. I don't have to give it to you for you to be faithful. And if I give it to you 4 times a week and it's not enough for you, then
so the question now is like a cluster bomb with shrapnels flying in every direction. So sex, no matter how sweet, no matter how the man is satisfied, it does not mean a man will not cheat. Let us get that part.
Yes.
So a cheating man wants to cheat. Either the wife is good or bad,
Or not.
best or not, monkey shadow, snake in the kiniko. It does not mean the man will not cheat. A man that will not cheat will not cheat. Either the wife is good or not. And a man that will cheat, even if the woman is the best porn star in the world. So let us get that fact straight.
Offset cheats on Cardi B all the
Every
time.
man in the world. Sorry?
I said Offset cheats on Cardi B all the time.
All the time.
Exactly.
You know, and if anyone can spread it, it's her. Like, hello.
And the fact that she's doing that online doesn't mean she's good in bed at home.
Well,
yes, it's
well,
true.
That's
It's
the
true.
point.
she was a stripper before, so I think she's good in bed. Like, I don't know.
Well,
That's
stripping is
another
about dancing.
think-
Doesn't necessarily mean that. But let's narrow it in. I just wanted to be clear because obviously, Funshaw and Jamadan is your last subject matter experts on this. You're the men. You're the ones we can use. So you both have mentioned that. But let me go to the ladies now because I don't want to leave you guys out. Satisfaction should mean something to you as well. So what does satisfaction mean to you in your relationship?
For me,
Yeah.
satisfaction for me is I don't like stress. I don't want stress at all. I just want to live a happy life. Anything that stresses me out, I want to remove myself from it. Okay. And I thank God that, see, the thing is, sometimes when people look at you, they look at your marriage and they think, oh, wow, that person really has it easy. There's no marriage that's easy. The fact that you don't say things that are happening in your marriage all the time, it doesn't mean that your marriage is easy. It's not always easy. You know, sometimes people look at me and my husband and they think, oh, you guys, your husband. No, me and my husband, sometimes we do argue, we quarrel, we don't talk to each other. But then we always sort things out. Do you understand? And we learn from our mistakes. Okay. But for me, satisfaction is just chilling I'm telling you what satisfaction is for me. Okay. Yes. Cooking. I enjoy cooking sometimes. Cooking, just chilling in my living room or in my bedroom, watching Netflix. Yeah. Netflix, Amazon, whatever it is, I'm watching a good movie. That's satisfaction for me. Yes, I would have sex if if my husband wants it or if I want it. But satisfaction for me is just being in that place of zen where I don't have anything that I'm thinking in my mind that bothers me. Because I'm a kind of person that takes everything to heart. So if there's anything out of that norm that is beginning to bother me, I lash onto it and I start to worry and I start to think. And before you know it, I become very like there's nothing you can do to satisfy me until that issue is sorted. So I try as much as possible to remove anything that would create an atmosphere where I'm unhappy or unsatisfied. Okay, so for me, satisfaction is my home being peaceful, and just knowing that I don't have anything to stress about.
Okay, so that's what. Now, Ejike, what does satisfaction mean to you?
Very, very similar to what Celia said. I really just want to have peace. I'm a very regimented person. I have time. Celia would have noticed I keep to time. I like to do things. I like, so when things I don't want anything out of sync, I'll begin to worry. So let me just do things. I'll set myself, okay, this is what I want to do throughout the day. And once that goes through, I'm fine. I really don't want any drama. I don't want anything upsetting me. I don't want anybody coming to me with a child out of wedlock. If he wants to go out, I think I've just gotten to the point where, if initially, like seriously, when I first married my husband is a very, very outgoing person. He likes to be with people. He wants to go out. He wants to hang. I'm also a people person, but I can do without going out. I can do without it. I don't have to go out. I can stay at home. But he would rather go and meet his friends, let them hang out and watch football in one person's house and make friends in that person's house. That is him. So initially, it used to cause a lot of problems. But I think I just understood that this is this guy. Okay, let him go. If that is what will make things happy. I know initially, I said if I didn't have a child on time, so I used to be very lonely. But the moment I had my son, uncle, you are going. Bye-bye. I have partner to make noise with me in the house. Initially I was very lonely at home, but maybe I had a small boy to play with and make some noise and worry about. for me, and I think I just want to have peace, that safety, that you're not worrying about one girl coming to beat you up at home, all those kind of things. So I think for women's peace, or I would say a lot of women's peace is also sort of dependent on their husband's actions.
Yeah.
A lot of women's peace is very dependent on their husband's actions. So at times, we say, well, she's always shouting. She's always, why won't she shout when then 1 million girls will call, 1 million girls will text? Some people the girls will not even respect the woman again. They just begin to generally misperform and misbehave. I know it's only normal. She's a woman with emotions. She's going to act out. She's going to want you to know that she's not at peace with what is going on. So I think our men need to understand that when you are doing these things, you are affecting somebody. And you're affecting somebody's child. If you're not looking at me as a human being, remember that that's always what I always tell people. I always tell my husband that if I'm somebody's child, please don't stress me out. The same way you don't want anybody to stress your child, they are working morning, afternoon, and night for him to have comfort. Me too, my parents don't want me worrying where I am. Please, let me have peace. So our men should think like that.
Man, I hope you're listening.
Yeah.
Bishop, before I let you talk, I would come back to both Celia and Ajike. You've spoken about what satisfaction means to you. And without me drilling or poking, are your husbands satisfied? Do you think your husbands are satisfied? Either of you can answer.
Okay. My husband, I know what satisfies him, right? And I try to do it. I might not do it. I might not do it as
sharing?
often.
Do you mind sharing?
Do I mind sharing? You see, I want to say I don't. But I don't know if I find myself in a situation, I don't know how I'm going to react, honestly, because sometimes men have a very high sexual drive. And I can say that perhaps I don't satisfy my husband enough sexually, right? Because it's not every 5 seconds I want to be, doing me bag. No, do you understand? There are sometimes I don't want it. I don't want to do it, right? It's not every time. And let me just tell you now, the fact that I don't want to do it, it does not mean you're going to go and get it outside. Hell no. Yeah, I'm not doing it, okay? It's not going to be long, but it doesn't give you a ticket to go outside and cheat on me. And my husband knows he can never do that. But what I'm trying to say is, I do, okay, because he's just here, right? And he's just moving. If I can just turn this camera for you guys to see him, okay? And I will not be bullied. So yes, when I don't want to do, I will not do. When I want to do, I will do. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, we are women, and when we also have a mind of our own. It doesn't mean when the man wants to do every time, we'll just turn and say, yeah, do.
But you give us appointments.
Yeah, we give you appointments. Yes, sometimes
I won't forget the
appointments too. Because
has there been any time?
Okay.
Has there been any time that he turned you down, that you wanted it and he turned you down?
Yes. Okay, so let me tell you.
Did you get angry?
Oh, absolutely.
You know how it feels.
Yes.
We're getting there.
With you,
I
know that he did that just to prove a point. It's not because he really didn't want it. He did that just to prove a point. And trust me, 2 seconds later, he's the one chasing me, and I'm like, no. You had it on the platter and you didn't want it, so no.
It's as if men don't have an off button. Once you're switched on, they're switched on forever.
There is a chairman that has his own mind.
I've always said that your chairman has no sense. But let me go to Ajike. Ajike, do you think your husband is satisfied?
I don't think, is there any man that is satisfied like that? I don't know, maybe a monk, Sha. Because it doesn't matter the way they would want it and how they would want it. Another thing that for me is our society is so hypersexualized.
Yeah.
For money, they have seen Baby D inside bank. They have seen Rishi on Instagram. They now come and just see one girl with flat body, big stomach, everything. No, Abombo is not like the people in on Instagram that they are going to use this one in their stomach to pump the bomb. Everything is they're just looking as a plain Jane. So I think at times, for me, I would say, I know it's not, but really, I like Celia said, it cannot go anywhere. I cannot say cannot go because I don't know if it's going. I think I'm not going to my own place of my own level of zen. I give myself peace. I don't check his phone. I think I complained one time he was using this fingerprint thing on his phone, and I told him, I said, "Oh God, God forbid if you die, Is it in mortuary? We'll go and open the phone. Better change it to change the code. I'm not telling you that he will die, you understand? But what if something happens and it's an emergency? I really don't like that fingerprint something. It's too, what is this? What are you hiding? You know, so for me, I've just gone to the place of peace. Whether it's satisfied or not, that's the thing. And if you cannot communicate it to me, that's another problem. So men are not satisfied and they will not communicate it. If you're not satisfied, you're not communicating, because this Nigeria is hard enough. The heat is much. I will drive inside traffic. I will go up and down. I will come back. I'm not saying I'm the queen of Kama Sutra, but I'm doing my best. And if the best is not good enough, I hands off.
Given what the women have said, should women just say, given what Celia and Ajike have said, should women just accept that men are not wired to be faithful or monogamous, so that we move on with our life, and when you eventually cheat, at least you won't be heartbroken? So should there be an element of, well, it's what it is?
Yeah.
Well, let's answer.
Yeah. So I wanted to say something since. So I'm going to bring it a bit back, then now merge it with what you just said. So if you observed what I said from the beginning, which was peace, and whenever I knock on the door, please open. If you don't want to open at that point, tell me when to come back. I won't forget the appointment. I'll come back. You get? So if you understand, if you observe what I said, it was almost, not even almost, it was the same thing the ladies have said. You get? Jabojantis don't know that I only mentioned maybe sex from the beginning. I added peace of mind to it. Why did I do that? Because of how I grew up. Okay, I used to say this anytime I have the opportunity to say it, that I grew up in a home where my mom was extremely jealous. I have never seen a lady as jealous as my mom before. Yeah, it's no disrespect to my mom or anything, but it is what it is. And growing up, I kept wondering why my dad stayed. I wouldn't have stayed in that kind of marriage. But my dad kept on saying that he doesn't want a broken home. He doesn't want us to grow up with another woman. He doesn't know what will happen. The reason being that his own experience also, his mom died when he was 2 years old. So he had to grow up with other women, and it wasn't nice. So he didn't want us to pass through that. You get? So growing up, I just made up my mind that I wanted peace in my life. Give me peace, and I'll be faithful to you. Now, add the other thing we are talking about on top of it, then you have won me. And it's not so difficult. So a man that wants to cheat, no matter how satisfied he is at home, he will still cheat. You get? He will still cheat. Why would I cheat on a woman that doesn't disturb or bother me at all? Is it because of 5 minutes, or okay, maybe they say guys last more than 5 minutes? Is it because of 45 minutes or 1 hour sex?
It's not up to 45
No, I'm
minutes.
just saying. When you tell a guy it's 5 minutes, he gets angry. So for the guys that are listening, because we're representing them, is it because of maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes that I'll destroy my home? No. What is the assurance that the next woman I'm going to pick is going to be, will make my life peaceful, like the current wife I have? You get? So I wouldn't do it. So in a nutshell, being satisfied sometimes is not tied to sexual prowess or peace at home. A man that would cheat, no matter how hard you try, the man will still cheat.
Do you think the era of social media, cosmetic surgery, has it made it harder for you men to be satisfied and faithful? And I throw it to everyone on the panel. Let me go to
Jagbajantis.
wait.
Jagbajantis is a culprit.
Let me go to Jagbajantis.
I keep telling my wife.
Page. Hold on. Let me go to Jagbajantis.
No, the one Jagbajantis answers. I keep telling my wife that. Hold on. Jagbajantis goes up.
I can see that.
Same laughing.
On your page. And this is not putting you. I enjoy your page. I enjoy your posting.
My mom loves me.
Sexualized content. So, do you think you are one of the people that has made it difficult for men to be satisfied at the same time be faithful? Because in the past you have to buy a magazine for you to see a nude person, but we have it all splashed up. I think there was one that you posted, Jabberjantis, and this 62-year-old woman was telling us how she sat on something, and you're like, really?
So the truth of the matter is there is a trend out there, and it's only if we want to be in denial we're going to say it's a lie. What you're seeing on social media now is what sells, is what grows the page. It is what makes people comment. When you post important things, critical things that require people's attention, things happening in the society, everybody scrolls past. But when you post a lady that has a big ass, and I'm talking about the car at the background, you see, okay, you see them commenting. Is my voice clear to you guys?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
So it is that thing is, let me just say, it is market strategy. It is advert for the page, because that is what brings people. And you find that most of the people playing the roles of moral judge, all of them are following Roman goddess. They are following Sexy the Ass. Every Nigerian man is on their pages. All those porn stars. You'll be wondering, why do they have 5 million followers, 3 million followers? And these people are the ones trying to claim like a saint on a political platform. So why are we lying to ourselves? Now, when the trend was about Slim Shady, Figure, Slim 8 and all that, they enjoyed the moments. We used it a lot. The page was so big. Now the trend has shifted to big people, fat people, thick people, and we're still exploiting the trend. So you'll see somebody who likes skinny girls posting big ass, because that is what brings the comments. It is not that he really likes big ass or big boobs, but he will post it because that is what will grow the page. But his sexual interest is in slim girls. So that is somebody, Omoba Yomade, he has pages, 500,000 followers, 600,000 followers. Nobody knows he's the one running the page. But the page is always posting big ass, big girls, big breasts, big this. But he likes slim girls. So we have to understand how social media works. But for men, many of them are thirsty. That is why I said it doesn't matter what kind of satisfaction they get at home, they will still go and lust after what satisfies their sexual urge outside. So me and my page, we are two different people. I'm just looking for crowd so that when I promote my money transfer, I have a lot of people coming. You know? So
all right,
that's the way it is.
Thank you, Jabberjantis. Ajike, you immediately I mentioned social media, you chimed into it. So are we in the era where we can blame social media for the attitude or lack of morals for men nowadays?
It's not like maybe you can blame it totally, because I always say everybody's responsible for their actions.
The men are not the one naked, though.
It has just, what did you say?
He said the men are not the naked ones, it's the women.
No. It's not. No, what I said is that the men are not to blame. You can't, everybody's to blame for their own action. But social media has just made it easier. You know, like before, like you already said, you have to go and buy Playboy or buy the magazine.
That's magazine.
Yeah, but now think of your fingers. In fact, some of them are even doing a page. You pay when you pay into an account.
Only fan.
Before fan only came on Instagram, people were paying.
Yeah.
There are pages where you pay on Instagram, yes. Really? Before fan only, I didn't even know. I just heard of fan only recently. Before you pay for you to join, when you click, the page will be private. So when you click, you now pay. So when you show them proof of payment, you now open it up. They accept you in.
Wow.
You understand? So social media just made it so much easier. You know, it's easily accessible. It's even a threat even to the teenagers. My friend that is like a therapist now, you know, they're now having to more teenagers are into masturbation, they're into all these things because social is easy, it's everywhere. It's not like before that. Before you even get the phone, even if you get the phone, it's Nokia 3310. kind of phone you will get. But now even my son has phone, he has phone number, he has everything. He has 2 tabs, he has how many phones. So, it's easy. So we all just have to, social media is there, but we have to put controls. And the first control is for you as a human being. If you are a Muslim, hold on to your Allah. If you are a Christian, left to me. You just have to have some level of morals. You have to be moral. You have to help yourself. There's nothing we can do. Even if we are praying for money tonight, if you don't want to do it, there's nothing we can do.
Okay.
If you want to do it, there's nothing we can do.
The sad thing is all this social media going burst and all of that. It is the women that is causing this, okay? It is the women that is causing it. It is the women that are exposing themselves indecently. Where is the morals of these women? Where is it? What have they done with it? Yeah, so the women are the ones doing it. It's not the men that have the breast and are exposing it. The most you're going to see is like this, okay? This is what you're going to see. And that's not going to bring us views. But if I open it a bit more now, everybody will just come there to come and just say, oh, what was that? Okay, we have seen it. They will not listen to the message, but they will just see and they will go. So it's the women. Women, we need to check ourselves when it comes to things like this. Yeah? When you're doing videos, you're shaking your bum, you wear clothes that the people don't even need to look before they see what is underneath. What is that all about? What is so bad in your life that you must come on social media to get the gratification, the satisfaction that you want to come and expose yourself for the enjoyment or for the entertainment of other people?
Validation.
Of other people. And those people that are doing OnlyFans and all of that, like, hello, at the end of the day, as you said, Ajike, it's now very rampant. But anyway, that said, going back to the topic, a man can never be satisfied. If your wife is fat, they will say they want a slim one. If they get a slim one, they want the house help. If they get a house help now, they want another man. So men, you cannot satisfy them. It's true. You can't satisfy them. I mean, it is what it is, and perhaps women are like that too. But I think it's more rampant with men.
It's more rampant, really. Like Celia said, there's always this, I don't know, there's always this when they marry somebody that's homely, later they start saying she's only working at home, she's not making money. When she's making money, she's not doing this. There's always one complaint or the other. But well, you just accept what it is and face your front.
Okay. I think this applies to both parties. It's possible that the man is also doing everything he's supposed to do as the man of the house, and the woman still goes behind to sleep with the maid. It's possible.
Plenty of stories.
It goes back to what I've been saying from beginning, and that is whoever wants to cheat will cheat. Whoever has made up his mind or her mind not to cheat would not cheat, irrespective of whatever the partner has done to satisfy the person. Yeah, going to social media, in a way, it may have impact on what we are talking about, but it still boils down to self-control. I mentioned something earlier. I told my wife that if this marriage collapses, the person to blame is Jagwajantis, because of all the ass and boobs and everything he keeps posting. Sometimes you open it and my heart just keeps, what is this again, Jagwajantis? That kind of thing. In fact, sometimes I just come and say, come and see what Jagwajantis has posted again. And she comes and she's like, hey, what is
not me? It's my wife that will
see not your handwriting.
Post this for your followers. It's not me. My wife will say, post this for your followers. Let's see their comments. Post this. I saw this somewhere. Post this for your followers. And me too, I will post it.
So me, I'm giving you feedback now. Some of your followers will blame if their marriage collapse.
I was going to ask a question. You ladies, you have friends. You have other female friends. Some wild, some simple, some outgoing, some laid back. Have you ever had any time that any of your friends, basically confided in you saying, you know what, that guy, honestly, if he speaks to me, I don't think I'll be able to say no. I know I'm married, God should forgive me, but honestly, you should just do me one. I'm not gonna look back. I'll be honest. I'll do this. I'll do that. Blah blah blah. Have you ever had any time that any lady or lady friend either married or single, has told you something like that before?
No, personally, no.
No. How about you, Ogi? Yori?
Well, I don't think married. With single girls, it's easy to say, well, no strings attached.
Okay.
They just live their life.
I've had plenty of people say in my presence that if somebody asks them out, they will do it without thinking about the consequences. Also, I've had experience of married women disturbing me. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Popular figure.
Yes, I don't know what they see on that social media. I used to have a very big page, not the one any one of you guys here know about, because my pages have been deleted several times.
Yeah, you're the cat with 17 lives.
Exactly. So I've had situations of women who are in a marriage trying to do things, throw passes at me. And when I look back, I'm just like, me too, I have a wife. Could she be possibly like this? And at some point, it made me started thinking differently about wives. But I know the kind of woman I married. I know how I met her. I know how she is. So I just shut that door of doubt. Like, no. Not everybody is like this. Because if you start thinking about the things happening outside, wahala go scatter. And there are guys telling me that their wives want sex too much, that they can't live up with it. They don't know. They know. You touch them like this, they're already candida. You touch them like this, they're already wet. They're already tapping you again early in the morning. Like they just love sex. They want it anytime, any day, they want it constantly. And these guys,
some women, they like it.
They call them nymphos.
And you cannot say because somebody sex drive not having sex everywhere. I personally don't think so. My own humble opinion, no.
There are lots of women out there who are nymphos.
Yeah, well, as we have women that are nympho, we have men that have got very high sex drive as well.
That's
what tends to happen is that they then tend to be in a relationship where their supposed other half hasn't got the powerless, without the lack of better words, to actually match their level of. You see, sometimes you need to take your partner on a journey. Okay, so you know the kind of person you are, and then slowly you support them. Everything can't just be the way you want it now. Yes, there should be some element of enjoyment. If you start, like, I like plantain a lot, like not graphically, but fried plantain. But you can't keep frying plantain you get tired. You know what I'm saying? And this is just
no, she said
what kind of plantain do you think she was talking about?
I will say that assassin to kill you where you are. But what I'm trying to say is that let there be that element where we miss you. Don't just be coming and be touching when there's no. So you can't be touching every 2 seconds. You won't get a natural reaction.
Yeah, you won't.
You won't get a natural reaction.
Happening in Lagos. It's been happening for a long time. But people, you have to be somebody who knows somebody that knows somebody to be part of it. You can't just bash into it or bump into it and then boom. There are some set of women, high echelons, like top Lagos women, married. They have a way of catching their trips. They love orgy. They like to go to places like Ilashe Beach Villa, where nobody else is there. It's an open beachfront. They can do all sorts of nasty things with like 5 different boys ramming them, bam, 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 back to back, one in the mouth, one at the back. They just love orgy. And this happens at least once a month with their husbands not knowing about it. And they have happy home. So things are happening, it is just the information that comes to you that you will know about.
Things are happening. As it's happening with married women, it's happening with married men as well. We know.
Exactly. So it's not men alone.
Was it not a commissioner of some states in the eastern part that was filming himself with 2 other girls getting it on?
It wasn't girl, it was man and woman.
We're in the era of Sodom and Gomorrah now, so things are happening. But what I'm just trying to say is, narrowing it down and in closing, I'm just going to give it to you guys just 1 second to just close up and we can round up. do you think that the topic itself, do you think it's like a mechanism of controlling women? So if I don't give it to you, or if you don't get it, it gives you the leeway to go about and all your way, and then we can wrap it up. I'll go to you, Celia.
No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be because you're not getting enough from your wife, you should go and cheat, or if you're not getting enough from your husband, you should go and cheat. If it's that bad, divorce your partner and then go and shag elsewhere. That's my take on it.
All right, for sure.
Yeah, what I've said is what I will still hammer on. It's not enough for you to cheat on your wife or your spouse. Whoever wants to cheat will cheat. Whoever doesn't want to cheat will not cheat. So I also, if you are not getting enough, just speak to your partner, and then you guys can find the middle ground. Yeah, that's just what I would say basically.
Okay, Ajike.
I think people should not make because maybe you have a high sex drive and somebody is not matching it. That should be a ground for cheating.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are many things that one can learn. There are sex therapists, there are people you can see, there are people who can teach you what to do and help whatever situation may be. There are very, very many. So I think if one is having that kind of problem, why not reach out to one of them, let them help you. And if that doesn't work, go your separate ways and help yourselves.
Jabajantis.
So on what Ajike said, I'm on that ground as well. But unfortunately, our society, we're always in denial. We're born into denial and we'll continue in denial. Like Ogi said, people should divorce. They should just go different ways. But because we're in denial, nobody wants to divorce. Everybody wants to make it look like, yeah, this is the best marriage. Ajika said it. If you communicate, talk to yourself. But somebody is trying to communicate, the other person is not responding. Every time we try to communicate. In fact, somebody will even be saying, see, if this fails, people will say it is because we don't communicate. I'm trying to communicate with you now. You are not even here. I tried talking to you last week, the same thing. I'm talking to you again now, the same thing. It is not easy. We will say, okay, let us go different ways. It is not easy. So that people will not cheat because of lack of sex, because this topic was based on sex, not even peace of mind. So let me talk on that sex. People will cheat because of sex. It is easy to say that, oh, let us go different ways. But are you ready to go different ways? Are people ready to go different ways? Everybody wants to make it look like, oh, it's a bed of roses, the marriage is sweet. But it's not sweet in that marriage. So somebody will find that companion or that talking partner or that sexual partner outside. People will cheat. Oh, the one that is getting enough sex, girl, is cheating. Not to talk of the one that is not getting enough sex.
Yeah.
So they will cheat. We're a society of people in denial. So they will continue to cheat.
Okay.
And it's wrong.
All right, we'll leave it the way I think we've kind of over trashed this, and hopefully marriages or relationships still sustain or get sustained regardless of the distractions that we see around us, social media and the likes. So until next week, once again, it's a pleasure. We're trashy. We trash everything trashable. So if you want us to trash any topics, send us an email. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we're also on Clubhouse. So thank you so much, colleagues and hostesses and hosts. It was a pleasure trashing this with you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.